Welcome to the DZ Report. Don't you know I love the haters? Now, this NYPD officer may be finding another use for her handcuffs. Vera McCooley, the rookie cop who was filmed giving a lap dance to her married lieutenant at their Bronx precinct's holiday party last year, is being encouraged to start an ONLYFANS account after she posted suggestive photos in a tight-fitting dress on her Instagram account, which now has more than 15,000 followers. Viewers suggested she take her photos to the racy content subscription service, claiming she could become a millionaire in months. Her Instagram profile, which lists her Cash App and Venmo accounts, already gives admirers a way to donate to her bank account. At the time of the 2021 incident, which went viral, McCooley was new to the 44th precinct. That didn't stop her from cavorting with Lieutenant Nick McGarry, who was transferred out of the precinct as a result. The then 26-year-old issued an apology, but this year was suspended without pay for her rant against New Jersey state troopers regarding a relative's drunk driving arrest. Well, I guess everybody thinks this is cool to do. I guess if you're a cop, you can do whatever you want, right? You can give a lap dance, all of this stuff you could do and everything. And we know why he transferred out of the precinct, because his wife probably got a hold of them pictures and beat his ass. So my thing is this. It's okay for them to lap dance and for her to do all of that and stuff, but hey, if it was us, it would have been a big problem. If it was a black woman, she would have got destroyed for it. But see, this is what happens. They get away with everything like this. Police officers, it doesn't matter with their fire truck or whatever. To me, everybody is condoning it. To me, she should have been torn down for what she did. You're basically lap dancing a married man. It's like you don't have any morals. You don't know what morals are, probably. I'm thinking she don't know what morals are. What you guys think? People probably be like, man, you being too hard. Nah, I think I'm being a little light. That's a married man. And married man got to understand, what if your wife was out there doing the same thing? You would have been pissed off. So all I'm saying is this. Just be careful out there. And to me, if you're in charge, if you're in charge of the law, if you're not careful or anything, this could haunt you. And you being a young police officer, man, this isn't a good look for the department. This isn't a good look for her. Seriously, but nobody's putting this story out there. Nobody has this story in rotation because, she's the pretty old innocent white lady. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it is now. Now, in another story, a photographer is suing tattoo artist Katvond D after she inked his portrait of Miles Davis on a friend's body. If you copyright a work of art, does that prevent other people from turning that image into a tattoo? That's the question, set to be decided by a jury in California federal court, where the case of photographer Jeffrey B. Setlick versus celebrity tattoo artist Kat Von D is due to go to trial. It is, as far as I know, the first case in which a tattoo artist has been sued for an allegedly copyrighted image on a tattoo on a client's body. Aaron Moss, an attorney at Greenberg, Glusker Fields Clayman, and McTinger LLP, who is not involved in the case, told Bloomberg Von D. In March 2017, Von D, whose legal name is Katvond Drakenberg, published the first of a series of Instagram posts of a tattoo based on a Setlick's 1989 photography of jazz legend Miles Davis holding a finger to his lips. In 2021, Setlick responded by suing Von D, claiming that the tattoo was an unauthorized derivative work and that creating it and posting it on social media was an infringement of his copyright. Hold on, my bad. Von D has parlayed her success as a tattoo artist into appearances on the reality TV series Miami Ink. and LA Ink. The Instagram account for her Los Angeles tattoo parlor, High Voltage, has more than 900,000 followers. Now, after reviewing legal filings from both sides, U.S. District Judge Dale S. Fisher has decided to bring the case to trial. A jury will be asked to decide whether or not the tattoo falls under the doctrine of fair use, as well as if Von D's use of Setlick's image denied the photographer, a licensing opportunity. Setlick declined to comment for this story, and ArtNet News did not hear back from Von D's attorneys. The potential ramifications of a ruling in the case are fascinating. A finder of infringement would effectively make public display of the tattoo's person's arm an act of infringement. Amelia Brankoff, a copyright lawyer not involved in the case, told ArtNet News this could give pause to tattoo artists who are asked to ink third-party imagery on their clients. Holding tattoo artists civilly liable for copyright infringement will necessarily expose the clients of these artists to the same civil liability anytime they choose to get tattoos based on copyrighted source material, display their tattooed bodies in public, or share social media posts of their tattoos. Von D's lawyers wrote in a legal filing that is not the law and cannot be the law. Setlick's photo, which originally appeared on the cover of a Jazzist magazine, was featured in Life magazine's annual Picture of the Year issue. Yeah. Jazzist magazine was featured in Life magazine's annual Picture of the Year issue. The photographer said that he believed he had previously licensed the portrait for use in a tattoo design. Setlick has raised a triable issue as to whether there is a market for future use of the portrait in tattoos. Fisher wrote in her most recent order sending the case to trial. There was expert testimony in the case that it was that it was established practice. So, order in the case. There was expert testimony in the case that it was established practice in the tattoo industry not to obtain licenses for source material, Brankoff said. But the judge found that although that might be the established practice in the industry, it doesn't mean the established practice is legally compliant. For her part, Von D insists that her version is transformative of the original image. For her part, Von D insists that her version is transformative of the original image. She created the tattoo by tracing Setlick's photograph on the light box and using a thermal copy machine and tattoo transfer fluid, therefore inking the design by hand. Von D interpretation of the photo added the appearance of movement by adding and shading waves of smoke. Around the perimeter of Miles Davis' hair and hand, created a sentiment of melancholy and eliminated the stark black background that dominates the photography. According to filings from her legal team, Fisher found that argument compelling. Let's see. Fisher, yeah, she was less moved by the idea that simply transferring a photograph to the human body was a transformative act, or that the personal reasons for getting a Miles Davis tattoo changed the meaning of the work. The tattoo recipient is a lighting technician named Blake Farmer, who worked with Von D on a film project. She inked his arm at a no charge using Setlick's photograph, which Farmer provided as a reference. The lawsuit contends that despite tattooing the design for free, Von D received and enjoyed indirect economic benefit in the form of advertising, promotion, and goodwill after sharing photos of the tattoo on social media. So, Sedlick is seeking Von D's profits related to sharing the photo of the tattoo in question as well as damages. He also wants Von D to remove all photos of the tattoo from her website and social media accounts. The issue of whether tattoo artists have to grant a license for the reproduction of their art has also been the subject of legal wrangling. In 2020, a U.S. federal judge ruled in the favor of a video game company that had produced a game featuring NBA players with tattoos, finding that the players had the right to use the body art as part of their likeness. The outcomes of Miles Davis' tattoo case would be swayed by the high-profile copyright lawsuits against the Andy Warhol Foundation heading to the U.S. Supreme Court. A lower court previously found in favor of photographer Lynn Goldsmith that Andy Warhol's print silkscreen based on her image was not fair use. In an interesting wrinkle, Selick is an expert witness for Goldsmith. Photographers are in the business of licensing their copyright to others, including licenses to fellow artists to create derivatives. Sedlick's brother and lawyer Gary Sedlick told Photo Shelter, when an artist creates a new work based on a photograph without authorization, the artist robs the photographer of the license fee normally applicable. Let's see. The judge did not refer to the Warhol case in their most recent order, instead citing the 2017 ruling in Rentmeester v. Nike, which found that an ad by the sneaker company featured Michael Jordan did not infringe on a similar photo of the basketball star by photojournalist Jacobus Rentmeester. But Warhol still looms large over the upcoming trial. Everyone is wondering how the Supreme Court will address the fair use doctrine in the Warhol Foundation case. Brandvolv said the legal questions involved here are the same, whether the works are substantially similar, and if so, whether the secondary legal questions involved here are the same, whether the work is substantially similar, and if so, whether the secondary user's work made a fair use of the underlying work, so that no license needed to be obtained. Regardless of the outcome, however, it seems unlikely that Farmer will be required to remove an infringing artwork from his body. The notion of forcing a person to undergo the potentially painful procedure of removing the statue. So. Everyone is wondering how the Supreme Court will address the fair use doctrine in the Warhol Foundation case. Brandval said the legal questions involved here are the same, whether the work are substantially different. Saying whether the work substantially similar, and if so, whether the secondary user's work made a fair use of the underlying work so that no licenses need to be obtained. Regardless of the outcome, however, it seems unlikely that license needed to be obtained. Regardless of the outcome, however, it seems unlikely that Farmer will be required to remove an infringing artwork from his body. The notion of forcing a person to undergo the potentially painful procedure of removing a tattoo, Brandkoff added, seems remote to inconceivable. So, basically, that's how it is. You got to be careful what work you do or what you put it on or who you put it on, because they could always come back and and tell you like, look, man, that's my work there. So like I said, so we'll see what happens, but the defendant, the person suing the plaintiff, you know we'll hear more stories coming out. So I just feel like it is what it is. Be careful of what you draw or what you do, because it could be a copyright infringement, or you could just be having a bad day and you just want to chill to yourself. But majority, you know. So, but let me know in the comment section what you thought about all this. Tell me, like it, don't like it. The first one on, do you think, what's his name? And basically, to recap, a lady was told that worked for the police force become a twerker or dancing. Then he had you got to be careful out there, guys, and got to make sure that everything is together. So thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit that notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if y'all love what y'all hear, go to my description box, hit the link. So that's just how I go, man. Make sure go to the description box, hit that link where you could donate whatever your heart's desire. You also can super chat, super thanks, as well as you know. So it is what it is. So thank you guys, man, for tuning in. Like I said, man, appreciate y'all. We out. Deezy.